I'm Nicole Marie Finch, and I'm here back on my blog about health and mindset. And the past couple of weeks we've talked about mindset, and last week I started to get a little bit about how the heart can help us get into the right frame of mind. And today I want to talk a bit more about our heart and the intelligence that it can have, and some kind of cool things that I've been learning about the heart and the power that it has. Now, one thing before I get into this, I want to kind of share is that you think about it, we talk a lot about, following your heart, or if you're trying to make a tough decision, what does your heart say? And, things like that. We talk a lot about that, but at the same time, we also downplay the importance of emotion or not using your head, following your heart, giving your heart too much and not thinking about the logical of the head. And a lot of times, if we're making a decision on something, even if our heart feels a certain way, the logical mind kicks in and starts to say things and talk about things, and then we end up going maybe with the mind, only to find later that our heart or our gut was right in the first place. Can you guys relate to that? I know I certainly can. I know there have certainly been times when I just felt something just didn't feel right, but my mind said, well, no, because this, and this, and I was like, okay. So I followed the mind, and in the end, I was like, oh, I should just don't let my heart. Even from simple things that have to do with at work. So how maybe I should have framed an email, or maybe how I should have, what button I was supposed to click. Like even simple things. The heart doesn't discriminate how big or small. It will help to provide that guidance. And there's some actual real super cool sciencey facts about what the heart can do, which gets me really excited. I'm going to try to keep it simple here, because I could probably go on and on. I certainly have a lot of things I can share, and I probably will over the next few weeks and months or whatever doing this blog. But the heart actually has found the ways that it actually can influence the mind. There's a direct connection there. A lot of the ways that emotions, things that happen, can influence what's going on in the mind. And sometimes our heart is reacting first before anything else, before our mind goes. And they've actually found that within the heart, there's a little brain in the heart. Did you know that? It's a little brain in the heart that looks similar to parts of our actual brain. So it has some kind of thinking, if you will, intelligence, if you will, based on what it's doing. And there's a really good analogy that I heard about how the heart impacts our body and our mindset and everything that we're doing. And that is the example of a pendulum. So if you've got a grandfather clock with a pendulum that's swinging, and you put a bunch of grandfather clocks on the wall, all the pendulums are going to start swinging to the same rhythm as whatever the largest pendulum is. Isn't that interesting? So you've got, and this was discovered by a guy who was making grandfather clocks, and he looked at them all on the wall one day, and he was like, I know they didn't start all the same. How come they're all the same right now? And so he messed them all up and went back, and sure enough, shortly thereafter, they all started to kind of swing together again. This is an actual, real thing where they'll follow the largest pendulum, will eventually pull all the other pendulums to swing and sync. And our heart is basically the largest pendulum in our body. So it is going to bring everything else along with it. So whatever kind of emotions, whatever's kind of feeling in the heartbeats, it is going to bring everything else with it. And it actually has electromagnetic impulses that it puts out. When you feel your pulse, it's actually the electromagnetic pulses that go out there. And so you're going to be not only spread that throughout your body, but also outside of your body too. And your heart's reaction can actually have a direct effect to people's brain waves, whether you're touching them or even in close proximity with them. Sometimes where you can get like weird vibes from people, or maybe you feel good vibes from people. And so that's a whole other thing too. And so our heart, when they see that we we're feeling emotions like love and gratitude and compassion, these they call it the core heart feelings, these good feelings, the heartbeat is actually nice and coherent versus something where you're feeling stress and anger. It can kind of go all over the place. So the power that the heart can give, the clarity that it can give, it can even calm down the mind. It truly, truly just fascinates me. The whole idea about following your heart is supported by science. Yay! Love science. And so one thing that I have been trying to learn to do, and I mentioned this a bit in my last video, is following our heart and tapping into that power of our heart, which in some cases we have to just learn how to do. And one of the best ways I've heard it described is think about breathing through your heart. So if you're in a stressful situation, starting to get upset about something, or even if there's something that keeps coming up and keeps bothering you, if you take some time to feel, to kind of press pause and to feel that energy coming through your heart, shifting it though to like recalling maybe like a memory, for instance, of having fun or something that you felt loved or gratitude. And you can recall the memory if that's helpful, but the goal is to just feel that feeling that you felt during that time and just really center yourself and feel that happiness and feel that joy and feel that gratitude coming from your heart. It's hard to maybe explain if you haven't ever felt your heart, your energy in your heart before. So you just gotta spend some time breathing. Imagine you're breathing through it. And this truly can have physiological impact on your body. It's going to help calm things down. But even on your mentality and your mindset, it's going to help you to be able to come to a place of more clarity in how to really approach a tough situation. And in some cases, maybe you have to take a step away and be able to do this. Like I know when I have to deal with this and go with this, as I mentioned in my last video of when I had a stressful day at work and using this method to be able to be more grateful and kind of come back to a centered place, I had to get up and walk away. I couldn't sit there and just snap it on. But the more you practice it and the more you get used to it, you might be able to just immediately, boom, in my heart, okay, I got this. So I want to keep this simple today. And I'm speaking from the heart doing this. I don't have all my notes and stuff, that I've all jotted down to look through because there's so much interesting stuff going on here. But I wanted to put out there this idea that following our heart isn't just some kind of whimsical, like nice to say thing. There's some actual science behind this. And like, if something feels good and feels right, why do we question that? You don't always need the science, but I think it's cool. And it does help to see like, oh, wow, I think it's just so cool when it's backed up, when these more spiritual type things, these woo-woo type things are backed up by science. I love that. I think that's really neat. But I think the bottom line is we have to kind of reconnect with our heart. So this week, spend some time reconnecting with your heart. It might sound silly. I won't lie. Like, what might sound silly. Once I share some of the science facts and videos that I'm sure I'll have coming up in the future, then you'll even see more of it. But if it feels good and it helps you to be more centered and be more present and more joyful, why not? Why do we even need science? Aside from being cool, right? So anyways, I'd love to know how that feels for you. I'd love to know if you try anything out this week with kind of pressing pause in the moment, stepping away, and then taking some time to recall a memory, feeling that feeling of joy or gratitude or love or compassion or care through your heart. Feel like the energy in your heart in a positive way. You can even feel it, throughout your body, and ask that. And then you can ask your heart, what is the right way I should do to respond to this? And if you're interested in more about this, there's this great thing called Heart Math. You can check it out. And they talk a lot more about this, and there's a whole program you can go through as well. But I've just been reading the book and reading a lot of the resources that they have, and it's really, really interesting. So take some time. I'd love to know how that feels for you. And, comment below. Is this too out there? Are you feeling it? Let me know. I want to put good stuff out there. And I will see you again soon on my next week on my blog. And until then, remember, life is chaos, so we just have to have fun with it.